Guys, welcome back. Konnichiwa. Herzlich willkommen. So guys, update here on Canopy Growth, ticker CGC. We want to talk here about the upcoming price levels here to the up and the downside, and if a short squeeze is possible for Canopy Growth. Everything what I say here is of course not financial advice. I give you here my opinion based on the chart. Yeah, if you're new to my channel, guys, welcome. The main purpose is to educate you in trading. That's why I will show you here several chart techniques for Canopy Growth. But I also talk here about short squeeze stocks. Not only I talk about them, I try to predict short squeezes. So in this video, we try to find out if Canopy Growth has still the potential to squeeze, yes or no. So when we see the initial price levels here, guys, when Canopy Growth started to trading here in 2014, we can see that we had this massive bull run here in 2016. Then we came down a little bit, and then with the overall market squeeze, meme stock squeeze, hydrogen squeezes, everything squeezed here in 2019 and 2020. And we can see that Canopy Growth had its peak here in 2018, so a little bit before. And then when the whole stock market started to squeeze, Canopy Growth came down and had again here a recovery process here back in 2020 and had the second so-called post squeeze, but was not as high as the previous squeeze. Split adjusted, we had here an all-time high of $592. Now we're trading here at $3.48. So the question is, can we see a squeeze again? Yes or no? What we can already see here in the chart is this massive increasement of the volume spikes here. This is usually a sign of delusion when you see that the volume is increasing like that, but not these kind of volume spikes. That means that institutions or market makers try to build something like a bottom, or even try to make the squeeze happen here for this ticker. And when we zoom in, then we can also see that the previous squeezes which we had, these ones here, guys, I will zoom in of course in a second. I just want to show you here the overall picture. Then we can see that the previous bottom where Canopy Growth started to squeeze has been retested already twice, and these squeezes here have been in total about around 450 to 430%. So we have still here a very high squeeze potential for Canopy Growth. So now let's zoom in and let's talk about the price levels, what needs to happen to see here a bigger squeeze. And for that I have this very simple trend channel pattern here in which we are trading right now, or in which we are traded already before. But when we see the overall picture, then of course we have now new all-time lows. So that means that the previous support level which triggered here the short squeeze, or some of the squeezes here for Canopy Growth, we are now below that. So this is of course not good, but I show you now here the price levels where I think a squeeze is still possibly to happen here for Canopy Growth. So we switch off here the indicators for a second, guys. So before we dive in, guys, I already tried to predict here short squeezes on my channel. Therefore, I upload here every week my so-called hot stocks. This is something like a finest selection of short squeeze stocks, which you usually don't find here on YouTube. So when I release these kind of videos here on Sunday, that means that I expect those tickers to squeeze in the very few next trading days. Last week we had here 3 big squeezes. Every squeeze happened here exactly at the same day. This is just a coincidence, but I released here my hot stock video on Sunday, and you can see that this ticker here squeezed. This is a 4 hours chart here, guys, 150% after my video release. The second one squeezed even higher, 192% also here after my hot stock video release. And then at the same day we had a Patreon swing trade alert squeeze, in total 185%. So if you want to see those short squeeze stocks, guys, you can of course join in here our memberships. I show you that very quick here. The most popular membership which I have is the full package membership here on Patreon. Every day new members joining in, guys, so we are here a very fast growing community. You can see all the member benefits here, and if you also want to see those hidden short squeeze play and get access to these member information here, then you can join in the Patreon membership, the full package membership. The link, when you click the info icon here, then you get access to the Patreon member link, guys. It doesn't matter if you are a beginner or advanced trader, everybody is welcome here to join us, guys. So Canopy Growth, we are very close, guys, very close to see here a make it or break it decision, in my opinion. So we have here this very important price level here. The big fat green line is very supportive for Canopy Growth, which means that every price below this green line, which is $3.84, is usually a very nice dip. We have to be careful, of course, related to dilution. Canopy Growth is diluting a little bit. We have a short interest of 8.74%. This is not too high. And when we scroll down here, you can see that the actual float, so the public tradable float, the official available shares are 105 million shares for Canopy Growth. And when we zoom out here a little bit, we can see that Canopy Growth is diluting here after the reverse stock split. The float was 72 million shares and now they start to dilute. This is of course not in favor for a squeeze, but when we see what happened here back in 2020, when Canopy Growth also had some big squeezes, the float was 220 million shares, so more than 2 times higher than the actual float. So that's why, in my opinion, we have here a very, very high squeezable situation as long as they don't continue to dilute the stock massively. My personal landing zone, guys. Yeah, so we have this kind of trend channel pattern here. Let's first talk about the worst case scenario, okay? So therefore we switch to the daily chart. So, and there you can see that we have this kind of trend channel pattern here, which is in control. The algos use that like a trigger point here to force some squeezes, but as long as we don't squeeze out of this trend channel here, that means we have just here some algo squeezes and not a big short squeeze. So when we measure that here for a second, the complete squeeze range which we have here, even if we don't squeeze out of the trend channel, is around 550%. This is the range which we have here related to this trend channel, and you can see when we came below this trend channel here in my price zones here, that was exactly the moment when we touched again the top here. And as I said before, the squeeze range here also was here in total 440%. So this is massive, and we are very close here to come back in this range again. What does that mean, guys? I think still the algo support is waiting here at $3.84. This is the potential support line where the bullish algos are waiting. Everything below that is, in my opinion, just a short seller attack, just to trigger some stop losses and a very, very nice dip. As I said, as long as they don't dilute the stock. So when we enable here the indicators, we can see when we came back here in this price range once, here immediately the volume kicked in. Yeah, that was here exactly the trigger point for the algos to snap in. You can see here the volume chart, volume profile on TradingView. Then we had the reverse stock split, and then of course after a stock split the volume is even higher. You can see that we had massive spikes here, and unfortunately Canopy Growth started to dilute some of their shares. So we are very close here back in this price range. We're just trading here a few cents below $3.84, which is the squeeze trigger. We have open gaps here at $5.15 and $6.12. So even if we just see here a very small algo squeeze to close these gaps, this is already here a squeeze potential for swing traders of 76%. In my opinion, one of the resistance price levels is waiting here at $8.34. This is one of the most significant squeeze trigger price levels. I will not call it a resistance, because when the price can come over this level here, I switch off, guys, the indicators for a second, that you can just focus on the candles. Then you can see that this price range here acts like a squeeze trigger. Here we had massive volume spikes, but the top of this trend channel here, and this is today when we just see here a straight line, $10.50, guys. So here between $10.50 and $8.34 depending on the day. This is the main resistance right now for Canopy Growth. When we break this resistance here, when we can squeeze out of this trend channel, then we could see a massive short squeeze for CGC, even much higher than $10, guys. So this is not, of course, financial advice, but this is just simply what the chart is telling us. So everything here below $3.84 is a dip right now. So what is the worst case? The worst case is that we come back to this trend channel bottom here. That would be a massive shakeout, guys. And when we see here a straight line today to the downside, we talk about prices of $1.54 and lower. So be very careful with that. My personal trading strategy is I will accumulate here some positions or buy in some positions here between $3.84 and $2.76. So this blue box here is the main support right now, but when this support breaks, yeah, I would recommend here a stop loss, and then we get here lower prices to buy in later, as I said. And we also have to track the dilution for Canopy Growth. If they start to dilute, we may see never a big squeeze again. Yeah, as I said, the float before was more than 220 million shares, and Canopy Growth already proved here in the past that it has massive squeeze potential. Yeah, that could be already the bottom here. We don't need to come low like that. I just tell you, when we go below $2.76 and create a new all-time low, that would be very, very bearish, guys. It could be, of course, a shakeout, but I would be very careful here and work with a tight stop loss. Okay, guys. That was my update here on Canopy Growth. If you want to copy here the price levels from my chart, you can see the open gap here. One of the open gap is waiting here at $5.15. The next one here, $6.12. $6.37 is one of the first resistance levels. Main resistance is between $8.34 and $10.50. So you can copy the price levels here. What you see here is called TradingView. This is the chart program what I use for all my trades and all my videos. And if you want to get that program for yourself, guys, which I highly recommend if you want to learn trading, then you can use here my discount link. When you click here the info icon in the corner, you get a $15 discount on the premium tier, and this is what I recommend here for TradingView. Okay, guys, that was the update. I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your support and watching this video here, and I wish you great success with Canopy Growth. If you don't want to miss any updates, then please hit the like and subscribe button right now. Being that said, thank you guys and see you in the next video. Arigato gozaimasu, vielen Dank, alles Gute mit Canopy Growth und bis zum nächsten Video. Take care. Bye bye, guys.